Leo and the Tale of Friendship. Deep in the heart of a tranquil forest, where the sunlight danced on the leaves and the air was filled with the scent of wildflowers, lived Leo, a magnificent lion. Unlike the usual tales of fierce kings of the jungle, Leo was known far and wide for his kind heart and love for the creatures of the forest. His golden mane gleamed in the sunlight, and his amber eyes always sparkled with warmth when he looked at his fellow animals. Leo had a tradition that brought all the animals together. Every evening, just before the sun dipped below the horizon, he would gather the forest creatures to share a story. But these weren't just any stories. They were tales that carried lessons of love, kindness, and the value of friendship. One golden evening, Leo sat under the great banyan tree, its massive branches spreading like a giant umbrella over the clearing. The animals arrived one by one, eager and excited. Squirrels with bushy tails perched on low-hanging branches. Frogs hopped over the mossy ground to find a spot by the bubbling brook. Birds of every color lined up on branches, chirping excitedly. Even the shy hedgehogs and porcupines rolled up to listen, knowing they were safe and loved by Leo. Leo looked at the gathered crowd, his heart swelling with affection. Today, he began with his deep, melodious voice. "I'll tell you a story about the magic of caring for one another." The animals quieted, their eyes fixed on him, and Leo opened an old, worn book filled with stories he had written himself. "This is the story of Tiny the mouse and Bongo the bear," Leo announced, his voice carrying the warmth of a loving parent. The tale began in a small meadow, where a tiny mouse named Tiny lived in a burrow under the roots of an ancient oak tree. Tiny was timid and often felt invisible to the larger animals of the forest. One day, as Tiny collected seeds for the winter, he heard a loud roar. It was Bongo, a giant bear who had accidentally stepped on a thorn. Tiny, though frightened, decided to help. With his tiny paws trembling, he approached Bongo and gently removed the thorn. The bear, grateful and surprised, became Tiny's best friend. They spent days exploring the forest, helping other animals, and proving that no act of kindness is ever too small. As Leo read, his voice filled with emotion, and the animals listened with rapt attention. Some smiled, some nodded, and others even shed tears of joy. When he finished, the clearing was silent for a moment, and then it erupted in applause. The birds flapped their wings, the rabbits thumped their feet, and the elephants raised their trunks in celebration. Leo closed the book and looked around at his beloved forest friends. "Remember," he said softly, "that love and kindness are the strongest powers in the world. You are all precious to me and to each other. Never forget how much you matter." The animals cheered, their voices echoing through the trees. The dim monkeys swung from branch to branch. The deer danced in circles, and the foxes wagged their tails happily. And as the sun set, painting the sky with the hues of orange and purple, Leo smiled. He loved them all deeply, and his heart was full, knowing that his stories brought them closer together. From that day on, the animals cherished not only Leo's stories, but also the bond they shared as a family, united by love, kindness, and the wisdom of their gentle lion king.